So real quick, we do have one person in the room with us, and then all of you joining us at home. Thank you so much for joining us today. And today we're going to talk about advertising. So we have talked about so far sponsoring, and we have talked about some of the things that are inherent to your chamber membership. And today we're going to talk about advertising. And advertising is a little bit more direct. We're good.
You don't have anybody online?
We do.
Oh, okay.
We're sharing directly to them. No, they don't need to see me. I'm not important.
Okay. All right.
So what we're going to talk about today is advertising. And advertising is a little bit different than, oh, it helps if I plug the little remote guy in. Hang on. Hold on. One moment, please. There we go. There we go. All right. So advertising is a little bit different than sponsorships in regards to the goals that you want to accomplish. Click on that. There you go. There you go. In terms of the goals that you want to accomplish with what you're doing. So we talked a lot yesterday about branding and the idea of projecting your brand out into the community. Advertising is a little bit more granular, if you will. With advertising, you are looking to solicit some sort of a response. So you want people to click a banner ad. You want people to pick up a phone. You want them to, go to your website. You're kind of trying to get them to take an action. Whereas with branding, you're really trying to associate the name of your business with a particular feeling or a particular entity or a particular action. So that's kind of a little bit of a high level difference between the two of them. So branding really is education and awareness. So we're going to make people aware that we offer this product and give you a way to click and buy that product. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Let me know if you have any questions, because you guys are little squares to me, so I can't really see. So just kind of speak if you need to ask a question. All right. So your chamber membership already affords you a certain amount of advertising. You are already advertising by being a member of the chamber. Our website gets 12,000 page views every month. So those people are going through our directory. Those people are seeing your listing. Those people are responding to the referral opportunity that provides. So that you're already doing some advertising just through your initial investment in your chamber membership. So don't forget that. That's one of the things that people tend to kind of play down a little bit, especially if they choose not to renew their membership, because they'll tell us, well, it's not really doing anything for me. And there's a lot of things that your membership is doing for you, even if you're not necessarily actively participating. I talk a lot about this when we go through orientation, but it's very true. So with hundreds of facing activities every year, we're not just like pushing our own brand, we're pushing everybody's brand. So we have 900 members. Every person that we get to visit the chamber website or do a chamber thing has the potential to be exposed to your business as well because you're a member. So don't forget, we're out there doing that work. So advertising is about response. So yesterday, for those of you that were with me yesterday, we talked a lot about the fact that branding was really about building a long-term relationship, and advertising today, we're going to talk about, it's a little bit more about trying to get somebody to actually take action. So there's some important considerations in your advertising work. One is, and some of these you're going to see from yesterday, alignment with your business. So the place that you advertise and what you advertise and how you advertise really should fit with the way your business functions. So if your business is, let's say your business is a bicycle repair shop, you don't necessarily want to advertise to people that love cars. There's a little bit of a disconnect there. Not necessarily a huge disconnect, but enough that you probably want to think about that to see if that's really where you want to go with your advertising. Likewise, if you have a certain brand that you've put forth and built in a look that you do, your advertising, whether it's banner ads, whether it's whatever, should reflect that. So your ads should tell people kind of who you are as a business. The audience reach for the recipient. So when you choose a network to advertise with, whether it's the newspaper, whether it's the radio, whether it's us, whether it's whomever, think about the audience that that medium is going to reach, and make sure that that audience has the people in it that you really do want to reach. So know who it is that you want to respond. And then build your advertising plan accordingly so that you're actually kind of getting in front of those people. Are those the people that you want? So sometimes there are people that we don't necessarily want to reach for whatever reason. You know, maybe we're looking for a certain age demographic and we don't really need to get people that are outside of that age demographic. So it's not really of value to us to advertise to them. How many people will they reach? So, you know, it's important to ask. So, you know, what kind of do you think people are going to see this? They call it eyeballs because, you know, typically that's what in advertising, they call it how many eyeballs do you see, right? So you really kind of want to get a sense for the scope of the advertisement to make sure that the money that you spend is well spent. Response, not just how much, but what do you want the response to be? So, and this is important. So yesterday I talked a lot about the idea that branding was more of a long-term, not necessarily an immediate response sort of circumstance. But with advertising, you want to think about, if I'm going to put a banner ad on a site for a year, how many people do I reasonably think I should be able to get clicking through on that banner ad and then becoming a lead for me? And that's going to come from all this other information that you get over here. So you're going to gather all this information, and maybe you're going to talk to some peers and say, hey, you guys, when you guys run a banner ad, how does your response rate go? What kind of response do you get? And then you're going to formulate a plan. And you're going to say, okay, so if I do this, I'm thinking I'm going to get 3 people that respond over 3 months, and they're going to buy, say, an average of $1,200. That gives you a starting point. That's not necessarily your end point, but it gives you a good starting point to know that I need to measure the performance of my advertising. So, and I left in this sponsorship piece because it's kind of the same thing. What does it look like? So physically manifesting itself, how does it look? Do they put the banner at the bottom of the page where typically people that view your website won't see it? Do they put it, does it look totally different from the colors of your brand? Really kind of make sure that everything is in the way that it should be. Now, typically for chamber related advertising, we actually ask you guys to design what it is that you want to advertise. So whether it's a physical ad or a banner ad or whatever, so you have a lot of control over that look and feel. So you can make sure that it meets whatever standards you guys have for your own business brand. Super important. Expectations. And it's very, I mean, there's only one bullet here because it's that important and it's that simple. Try it and change it. So Keith Lawson, who runs the Market Builder, and they do direct mail. They're a chamber member. They've been a chamber member for 27 years, I think now. Always talks about that marketing is the constant process of send in, tweak, and repeat. So, you know, you do an advertising campaign and then you look at it and you say, okay, this didn't do this for me. How do I tweak it to try and get what I need out of it? So you're always looking at ways to kind of adjust based on the information that you're learning as you do your advertising campaign. So things that you would do with us as the chamber, banner ads, physical ads, that kind of stuff, you know, we're going to get you that information on the response so that you can then say, okay, this one didn't get as many clicks as I thought it would. Let's try a different banner. So here's a new banner. Or this one didn't get as many clicks as I thought it would. Let's put it in a different spot. Let's put it over here. So it's a way for you to adjust your plan so that you're constantly kind of finding that sweet spot. And unfortunately, you may never stay in the sweet spot for very long because people always change in terms of what they want and how they act. So that slide, I would say, is probably the most important slide when it comes to advertising. Okay, so advertising opportunities. So yesterday, I think I said we had 50 different ways for you to sponsor something. We have 45 separate ways for you to advertise your business. So it's a lot. I'm not going to talk about every single one. I promised everybody yesterday I wasn't going to do it. I'm not going to do it today because that's not why we're here. But we are going to talk about some of the high level ways, some of the ways that you can consider, and some of the ways that maybe if you want to explore them further, you are welcome to meet with Marcus. You are welcome to meet with myself and kind of go into some deep dive in terms of what those ways can do for you. So that's kind of that's what Media Week is about. So let's start with physical advertising. Physical advertising is the actual like programs that we create, the flyers that we create, the things that we make for various events, that kind of thing. A good example is that top picture there, that Aviation Fascination brochure. So we're going to print this brochure that we hand out to people as they walk into Aviation Fascination. So I think we print 500 of them or 600 of them. I don't remember off the top of my head. But members have the opportunity, as you can see, members have the opportunity to have an ad inside that booklet. And it's a great way for you to have, Keith always refers to it as a get around to it. It's a great way for you to have something that you take home that you kind of get around to later. When you have some time and you're sitting there and you're thinking, oh yeah, I got to look at that. And then you look at it and then you kind of decide, if you're going to act on it. We also have a fantastic, and for those of you at home, I'm sorry that you're not here because I could show you just how fantastic these program books that we do for our awards dinner. It is a beautiful full color, usually 20-page book that all the attendees, and there's usually 500 attendees, they get at the night of the event. So we talk a lot about sponsorship and the importance of sponsorship when it comes to presenting your brand. Advertising, you can get advertising inside that booklet for people that take this home as a memento of the evening. And so it's always there over time for them when they go through that to look at that particular event. So these are best for businesses that are looking for a takeaway promotion opportunity and businesses that are looking for longer term impact. So people hold on to these mementos and they hold on to these memories of what they did and the things they participated in. So you get kind of a longer term potential impact on the print advertising. And there's a number of different ways. So two of them I took the pictures of, but we also do a program for Mesa Morning Live when we're in person. And that gets handed out at the show to everybody that attends. So that's a great opportunity as well. And there's a few more that we can give you in detail. How you guys doing? You guys doing okay? Everybody good? All right. So then there's digital advertising. This obviously, I think, is the one that most people gravitate to more, now because it's so easy to do and everybody is connected online, so everybody's accessing stuff. But there's a few different ways that you can digitally advertise with the chamber. So we offer advertising opportunities that give you banners, which you can see in the picture here. I've put the picture of the banner at the top of the site that you can have a banner in rotation with. And there are some banners on the left side that you can be in rotation with as well. They're very flexible. So you can, typically as long as you just give us a heads up, if you need to switch a banner, we just switch it for you. Easy breezy. But it's an ongoing repeated impression channel. So what that means is that, you're doing your thing and this banner's showing when our Monday message comes out and everybody logs in to register for their events for the week, your banner's there showing, saying, hey, we're here, pick us, look at us. When visitors surf our directory to find maybe they're looking for a completely different business, but your banner is there to say, hey, we're something you might want to check out. Yeah.
Do you guys keep any statistics on like how well that pays off? Like, if somebody clicks on it?
I keep all the statistics.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's an important thing. We view this very cooperatively. So we're going to tell you how your stuff is doing because we want you to know, and we want to know, obviously, because we want to make sure that we're still effective in what we do. So always, always, always feel free to check in. I wouldn't do it every day, but once a month, if you're doing an annualized, let's say, for example, you bought a year's worth of banner ad, there's nothing that says you can't shoot us an email every month and say, hey, how we doing? You know, and Marcus can go in and he can look up the stats for the month and kind of give you an idea of what, you know, what's happened over the month, how many impressions it's gotten, how many it's gotten. Now, once they've clicked it, if you've asked us to send them to another website,
Then that's on, yeah.
then that's as far as
But
it
my
goes.
website will track that, so that's.
Right. But if you have them go to your profile, so if you click it and then have them go to your chamber profile, that stays within our analytics ecosystem, so we can see how many people are viewing your profile based on your, you know, banner ad. So we can give you an idea of that effectiveness. And if you're maximizing your profile, as Marcus told us on Monday, then you're going to be able to engage people with all kinds of content, pictures and videos and all kinds of stuff. So, but these really are best for businesses looking for ongoing regular exposure. So this is almost like a heartbeat ad, just kind of keeps running, right? Businesses looking for repeated brand impressions, and then businesses looking for expanded lead generation opportunities. So a lot of people will create a banner, and then when someone clicks the banner, it goes to a page, a landing page, that they can fill out information to say, hey, I want to know more about this, and then they click submit. So they use it as a lead generation form, which is a great way to utilize a banner ad for that purpose. So questions on that? We do, we have two banner ad sizes. So we have this at the top, and these are common sizes. You see them all over the web. This is what we do at the top. And then we do the ones on the side here. They're a little bit more rectangular. We kind of function them in two different ways. So this banner ad at the very top, and then this top banner ad on the left are what we call rotational. So I load this page and I see right now Lascendis. I might reload the page and it'll swap it to somebody else. And then I reload the page and it'll swap it to somebody else. So there's a bunch of different advertisers that rotate through depending on how many page views there are. On the left side, so this second and this third banner down on the left side, those advertisers actually own that spot. That's their spot. So the only banner ad that shows in those spots is the one you see on the screen. So that gives them a much more permanent presence. So every visitor that visits that page is going to see the same ad. So two options. The pricing is reflective of that. Next up is email advertising. So we've worked super duper hard over the last 6-7 years on our email list. We really wanted to make sure that we had a very community focused email communication. And we've been pretty successful. So we've got over 18,000 contacts now that we email to every single Monday for our Monday message. And you guys, I'm assuming everybody on the call has gotten their Monday message. Very good. If not, let Marcus know so we can get that sorted out. Very good, very good. In that Monday message, you have the opportunity to buy a banner ad. So you'll notice we had SRP in Monday's banner ad. We've had different other advertisers as well through the year, but it gives you a direct connection to all of those email people. And you know people are reading their Monday message because they want to know what events they're going to go to that week. And so it's a very captive audience. It's a very good audience. A good ad will get a lot of response out of that audience because they trust that email because it's a chamber email. So you've already bridged one of the most important gaps in advertising, which is trust. So this is great for businesses looking for a burst advertising. Let's say you've got a timed sale, something that only runs until the end of the month. It's great for businesses that are looking to reach a large subscriber base. The one challenge with this email and the ad in this email is, of course, next week, there's another email. So the life of this ad isn't necessarily very long because it gets replaced by another email a week later. So that's why it's really good for short-term stuff, like burst stuff. So if you want people to respond that week, that quickly, that's where you're going to see the most effectiveness on that. So questions on that? Very good.
Actually, excuse me, Bob, I do have a question. I'm sorry, what is, my name is Heidi, I'm with Voices for CASA Children, and I'm here just previewing the class. We're not an official member yet, but, so thank you for the opportunity to preview this. Was just wondering, what is your typical, what do you offer as far as amount of time for banner ads or even digital? Is it, can we do a monthly, or I know you said you can purchase a year. Are there other options available for timeframes?
So on the email ads specifically, we do them in sort of batches of weeks. So you can actually advertise 4 weeks or 8 weeks in that Monday.
Oh, okay.
Whereas with the website, if you're doing the website, you can actually advertise for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or 12 months.
Okay.
So we give you different packages that you can do and different ways that you can advertise. So
Okay.
if you've got a special circumstance, so let's say, for example, hey, we're 3 weeks out from my event and I really only need 3 weeks. We can adjust, prorate that pricing on that if you just need 3 weeks. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, it's pretty affordable right now. Hang on, I'll get you for 4 weeks, it's $240.
Okay.
And then 8 weeks, you get a little bit of a discount on that. It's $408.
Okay.
So it's really effective. We get about a 20%, between a 16 and 20% open rate every week, which is really good in the email space. But again, that's because of our audience. Inherently, our audience looks for that message on Monday because they know that they're going to look through that calendar list and they know that they're going to register for some events. So you're going to get, that ad is going to get seen. So.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, let's do in-person advertising. I love in-person advertising. So, by the way, if anybody was at Taste of Mesa last night, thank you for being there. It was a fantastic night. It was our first official in-person event. But we offer the opportunity for our members to meet and promote their business through a number of different events, including things like Mesa Morning Live, Aviation Fascination, which is coming up here in November. I've kind of been talking all week about it, but it really, that's a huge public-facing event. We're going to run about 1,000 people through. Look, food. We're going to run. For those of you at home, bagels were just delivered. So if you want to come by real quick, you can have a bagel.
I'm actually really good. I didn't try that.
But so we've got a bunch of different ways for you to represent your business through things like events like Aviation Fascination, Mesa Morning Live. And the great thing about them is that, it's a tabletop situation. So you design what the person is exposed to. So you set up that personal presence for people to talk to you about your business. Our job is to get the people in front of you. Your job is to talk to them when they get there, right? So it's really a fantastic way for you to be able to tell your story. And then in addition to things like tabletops, you can actually, we have things like Mesa Morning Live, which is our TV show. And you can actually have a segment on there where you come on and you get to talk about what you want to do. So it's a great way. Basically, it's for businesses looking to tell their story. It's for businesses looking to interact one-on-one with attendees. And it's really for businesses that want to be seen as community supportive. If you're at a chamber event, people are going to say, oh, look, they're supporting the chamber. They came to this event and advertised. It's a really good way for you to associate your brand with the chamber brand. So definitely something to think about. And I'm happy to go into more detail on that if you need me to. But if you're considering any sort of like a tabletop advertising thing, I can't say enough, Aviation Fascination is probably the place to be for the end of this year because it's going to be a big event. Questions, comments, concerns? All right, very good. Let's move on. So there's a lot of places where advertising and sponsorship overlap. And So you can utilize both of them in a strategy to help people recognize your business and then act on that recognition. So because of our sponsorships, you can do things like decorate one of the rooms that we have. We've got a lot of doors, we've got a lot of rooms, we've got a lot of walls, lots of opportunity for you to engage our visitors through advertising, through a sponsorship of a particular room or what have you. That's one of those long-term kind of like keep it in front of people messages that you can utilize. They typically renew annually. So you're sponsoring something for a year. In this case, the pictures of our media room and the University of Phoenix sponsors that. So every year they renew their sponsorship of that. And it's really for businesses looking for a physical presence at the chamber, businesses looking for a long-term benefit, and businesses are looking to be associated with a specific aspect of chamber business. So in this case, University of Phoenix wanted to be associated with the podcast room, with the media room. So every podcast, we say we are in the media room sponsored by University of Phoenix. So they get that repeated brand impression. You can do the same thing for the room that we're in now. We're basically in the large sort of conference room, and we've got a smaller conference room. We've got kind of a one-on-one room that we have, and there's a way for you to be represented across all of those spaces. So it's really a good sort of combination brand builder advertising to give you that connection that you may need. So definitely something to think about for your business. Access to advertising, it's super easy. So you can, and I put this up here, but I actually have to caveat this just a bit because we are changing all of our website over the next couple of weeks. So some of the stuff that you may want may not be on the website. You just need to call us, but it's easy to access. Some of our stuff's online. You are always welcome to reach out to Marcus or myself, and we are happy to have a consultation with you. One of the most important pieces of information that I want to depart to you is that if you don't have the budget or the money and feel uncomfortable about advertising, then wait. Money that you spend on advertising should be money that you know is coming out and going out into the world and doing its work, and you're okay with it going out and doing its work. You have to be comfortable with that before you make that decision. So basically, don't spend money you don't have or aren't willing to basically let go. So we will have that conversation with you to make sure that you're at that point with your business that you're ready to make that kind of a decision. So, and then of course, for those of you that are in the room, you actually are not going to get a form today. I'm so sorry. But there'll be a handy form that we'll make downloadable for you to fill out to get some advertising if you want. And that is the high level. That's the high level of what we're doing. You can actually schedule time with me through this cute little bit.ly link if you would like, or you're welcome to email myself, and Marcus's email is mcampbell@mesachamber.org. You can email him as well. And we're happy to sit with you and talk to you a little bit about what you want, what your goals are, and then kind of figure out if there's a way for us to support you in that through some of these advertising options. So with that, look at me, I got a whole half an hour, people. I am yours for the next half an hour to answer questions. So hit me.
Oh,
somebody.
there we go.
Excuse me, Bob. Yep, it's Heidi again. I just want to say thank you so much. We're a nonprofit, and we have a more unique ask of the community. We recruit CASAs, court-appointed special advocates, to advocate for children in foster care in Maricopa County. Right now, we have about 8,000 children in foster care and only about 1,000 CASAs who they have walking alongside them through their journey through foster care, which can be, difficult in itself. So we have a unique asset. Our volunteers commit about 15 to 20 hours a month, to work alongside these children. So we probably would have kind of a unique way of messaging and positioning ourselves. So probably something that I'd want to email you directly and to get your specific thoughts on that and what you feel may be the best, sources for that. We're not yet members, but I've been following your chamber now for about a month, and receiving the emails and looking into some other chambers and just from past experience, and it's very impressive. And it seems like you have a really wonderful, very supportive, tight-knit community, and which would be what we're looking for. So again, I think it's probably best if I'll email you to see if we could set up a time
Yep.
to discuss it, since we're a little bit more unique, that way.
Yeah, we have 9 members, and every one of them has their position and what they need to accomplish. And
Okay.
that's one of the important goals that we always want to keep in mind, is that, with 900 members, each of those 900 members is unique in what they do. So
Okay.
yeah, happy to have that conversation.
Okay, super. Okay. Well, thank you so much. That was great information. I'm going to go ahead and sign off and get ready for another meeting, but I greatly appreciate your time and again, all that information. Okay. Hope everyone has a great day. Thank you.
So let's see who we got. Linda, how you doing out there?
I'm good. I'm sorry. I continue. Computer technology. I'm good.
You know what? It's been a crazy year and a half, so we've all had to learn to do things we never thought possible, right?
Exactly.
So let me ask, and this will be a question for everybody. Have you done any advertising, and what are your thoughts on that advertising?
Yeah, I did. When I first started my business this last year, I did a card campaign through the mail.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't what I hoped it would be. It didn't really drive a lot of business at all, to be honest. I just think it's one of those things that when it comes in the mail, because I only can go by what I know I do. And sometimes, you get that little card in the mail and it's like, oh yeah, that's interesting. But then it, gets hidden under, wherever. And then you find it 5 months later. Whereas when you're actually searching for something, it seems to have a little bit more impact, I think, because it's, something that you've searched for, or it's right there on the screen, and every time you open it, it's there.
Yeah, so it's kind of more immediate kind of response opportunity.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Yeah.
If you had to tell us, or if we had to pick one way to advertise, which way would you suggest?
And this is probably the question that I get asked mostly in orientation, is the first step is basically everything we talked about on Monday. So all the stuff that you've already invested in, your profile, make sure that your profile is complete. Make sure that your description tells people exactly what you want to do. If you have places in your site that you want people to go to that are not just your site, but maybe some detail pages, make sure you add those to the site. And Marcus did a great job on Monday of kind of talking a little bit about that. Once you kind of put all those pieces in place and kind of, got yourself to where, hey, everything I've invested in is ready to go, then I would look at what your first goal is. So if you are retail and, we got the holidays coming up, right? So if you're retail and you're going to do some stuff for the holidays, I would think about when people are going to be looking for what you want to buy, right?
Okay.
So whether it's November, whether it's, closer to Christmas, whatever that is, and then I would try and get in front of them just at that right sweet spot. So, you can hit them with an email blast, hit them with an email ad, whatever that time is, right? And then maybe follow that up at the same time with a banner ad that they would see on the site, so that if they see it in the email and then they go to register for an event and then they see it on the site, they've now seen your message twice.
Okay.
And that's the key to advertising, right? The key to advertising is getting those multiple impressions. So it's really strategizing, what the message is that you want to convey, And then kind of how can you get that person on the journey to do it, right? So if you're not retail, let's say, for example, you offer services, right? So you offer whatever the service is. You do plumbing. We'll say you're a plumber. You know when your busy times are and you know when your not busy times are, right? So you might run a special to kind of start to drive some maintenance business into your non-busy times so that you can keep revenue going during the non-busy times. So you might create a special that you can then promote that says, hey, if you sign up for our, whatever, $50 maintenance package, I'll come and put a little robot in your pipes and it'll be fun and we'll look at the video together and, that'll be great. But you can use that to drive business or traffic to times that you wouldn't normally, be busy. So it really is almost situational based on what you want to accomplish with that particular piece of advertising.
Rob, I have a question. This is Linda.
Hey, Linda.
Hi, sorry. So with that, what you just said, so for example, tax res, my business, obviously everybody knows the busy time is January through April. So what, like, for example, the email blast that you were talking about, do you guys design, do you design that, or is that something that I need to come to you with?
So we do offer the opportunity to design it for you. We do charge for that because we'd have to have a graphic designer do it.
Right.
But, yes. So the short answer is yes, we can design it for you if you need us to. Otherwise, we would have you do it and give us what you want us to run.
Oh, okay. So like if you wanted to add a coupon attachment to that or something like that, that's all inclusive to that?
Well, so depending on what you want to do. So if, let's say, for example, you want to run a banner ad, right? We'll design the banner ad for you if you ask us to, right? There's a fee for that. But if you have us do that, we'll design the banner ad. If you want to include a reference to the whatever you want, I mean, we'll design the graphic any way you want. If you want that graphic when somebody clicks it to go to a place where they can see a coupon, that would be either a hot deal that you can put on the site and we can link it through to that hot deal.
Okay.
Where they can get the details on the coupon, right?
Right.
Or if you want to actually drive them to your own website and have a special page for that deal, you can do that as well. We wouldn't design that landing page, basically.
I got you. Okay, cool. What's the time? Sorry, one more question. What's the lead time on that? What like 2 weeks?
I would say at least 2 weeks.
Okay.
Just because we're a little crazy. There's only like 7 of us.
Right.
So.
You mean you don't morph into multiple?
When I'm talking about the holidays, I am literally talking about the holidays this year.
Right.
So. And there's other advertising opportunities outside of that too. So for our nonprofits, we actually do a catalog. We actually do a giving catalog every year. And we allow our nonprofits to advertise in that catalog that showcases all of the opportunities for people to donate at the holidays. It's a really cool little plus that we do. So
Cool.
Anybody else? Hit me.
We really haven't done anything yet, other than, on just with our profile and description. We do have a marketing person that Tanya has had do all of, create our stuff. So I'm not like allowed to go in and mess with anything. But, and it's ours is kind of unique because she doesn't really need to advertise for any more accounting people or accounting clients. It's just the HR side of it. So it's, still trying to figure out where, what our best thing is. But you gave us a lot of good information this morning and yesterday. So thank you.
If you could, theoretically, right? So if you're looking to find out kind of what pain points are for people on HR, you could create a survey and then just advertise the survey and say, hey, take the survey and tell us what your human resources pain points are so that we know how to structure our offering to meet those pain points.
Okay.
Remember, advertising doesn't necessarily have to be about buying something. It can be about getting information that lets you act on something, right? So, it doesn't have to be, hey, 20% off. It can be, help us help you, tell us where your human resources pain points are. And then later on, you can come back and say, hey, we did this great survey and we found out that these things were important to you. We offer these things now.
Okay,
And follow it up. It's a great advertising message to be able to say, we listened to you and now we have this for you, right?
okay, thank you, tons.
Yeah. So we will after we get through the whole media week, we will probably August, September, schedule something that's specifically around holiday related promotion and advertising. Because it's so busy around the holidays and everybody's trying to get their message out. We'll probably structure something that gives people a little bit of insight on how to be creative with their holiday advertising. So look forward to that. Otherwise, we're here. Call us, email us, let us know what you need. Otherwise, tomorrow we're going to talk all about media. So we're going to talk about podcasts. We're going to talk about the TV show. We're going to talk about AZ TV. We're going to talk about all kinds of media related stuff. So tomorrow, I think it's at 10 tomorrow, if I remember correctly. Tomorrow's a little bit later because we got a lot of stuff going on in the morning.
It's either 9:30 or 10.
9:30 or 10. So I'll send that link out to everybody that's on that call to later today. If you're not on that call, would love to have you. It is, of course, as these all have been free to RSVP. So unless you guys have any more questions, I'll let you get those 15 minutes back and get a cup of coffee.
Stay connected to Mesa Chamber social media, email newsletters, Monday morning message, and mesachamber.org to always know what's happening at your Mesa Chamber.